name is Juanvelle, and
I'm Crystal.
Today on Storyteller Tidbits, we are going to go over the movie Silver Bullet by Stephen King. Now, if you haven't heard, Silver Bullet is definitely a werewolf-based movie based in the 80s, obviously. And it's pretty timeless because nowadays everybody's like pretending to be in the 80s to make movies. So this one should hold its water if you even go back and look at it. But first off, I believe the main stars are Corey Haim and Gary Busey, with a good female actress. I'm not sure if I can remember. You'll have to go back and see that yourself. IMDb. First off, let's get to the main part of the story. So,
all right, where would you like to start?
All right. So there's a young guy who's crippled. He's not totally handicapped. He's just crippled.
Right.
And he rides around in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And the town is already in an uproar because of brutal murders.
Mm-hmm. And they can't figure out who did it. And, every other night someone's kids are dying. Or, people are going out to find it. And, next thing they know, someone's getting maimed or they show up dead. And it's just like going further and further down the rabbit hole.
Right. And people are demanding justice. So they want to do renegade type search and kill. The cop in the film doesn't want it to become some large instant hate crime situation where these guys are just taking justice in their own hands and just killing a random person. So things get kind of confusing in town. Everything goes to shit. Well, Gary Busey is awesome. Like I said, he's kind of helps turn this thing around, right? Because
he starts out as like the drunk, irresponsible uncle, and then he just thinks his nephew's crazy at first.
Oh yeah. Well, he cites
until he realizes what's going on and he sees it for himself.
Right. The kid. Luckily, Gary Busey is a tech wizard, kind of in a way. He's what we call like one of those garage monkey or whatever they fucking call it back in the day.
I know what you mean. He's a motorhead. He's a mechanic type. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a motorhead pretty much, and he rigs this kid a 3-wheeler, which after I seen this, I wanted one of those fucking things.
Dude, that thing looked like a sweet moped.
It was fucking badass.
It was great.
It was almost a motorcycle on a wheelchair with a wheelchair on it. It was fucking crazy.
And now if you have something like that nowadays, you have to have a license to drive it.
And he hooks him up with some pretty badass shit, some fireworks or something at the time.
Yeah, he gives him some, there was a fireworks ban in his town, so he couldn't shoot them off. So his uncle slips him some secret fireworks, and he rides off in the middle of the night to go shoot them off. And then he's having fun.
Not to tell you too much, but he gets spotted by the werewolf letting some shit off at night, and actually maims the motherfucker and marks the right person, and barely gets away with his life. And this creates a real funky situation because now that he's marked, they can pretty much figure out who in town has that injury and locate him.
Yep, basically looking for some guy with a missing eyeball or eye patch. Right. That wasn't too hard.
And it's a strong family story because nobody really believes him, and everybody is kind of disoriented by the situation. So, being that situation, he needs his uncle to make him a silver bullet, which is the pretty most important part of this, because you got to know if you're going to kill werewolves, you need a silver bullet. Now we're going to stop for a moment and take a minute to introduce our sponsor. There's our sponsor. We don't have a fucking sponsor right now. So if you want a spot on Storyteller Tidbits or ST2, you need to contact me at SAGE4798 at gmail.com. And that's sage4798 at gmail.com. Get a hold of me fast and get yourself a spot right here on Storyteller Tidbits. Now, so they get this guy to make a silver bullet, and the crazy thing about this whole thing is it's very family oriented, right? It's coming from his sister's perspective, who's actually a secondary character kind of in the film. She does important discovery, but she is a secondary character.
Right. Like they have their issues at the beginning, and you know he's picking on his sister and whatnot, or at least his friend is, and he's kind of agitating it, and then he realizes down the line that he shouldn't have been doing that in the first place.
Right.
But, anyway.
This whole time he's kind of like this guy who's stuck around douchebags who tend to kind of keep him happy by doing like mischievous shit.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a pretty good kid at heart. So you'll look forward to seeing these characters that set things off. But the drama goes deep, but in the end, the family sticks together, and they win. At least the ones that they can confide in each other. And I think that's what makes it a really good movie. I think Stephen King pulled it off, and they got some really clean shots. It's not for back in the day there wasn't CGI, so
so they didn't like over CGI to death. The werewolves, you know, they had that grisly kind of.
It was very
looked
believable.
The hairy, you know, the hair looked realistic. They, you know, like
the whole transformation scene was done.
The transformation was pretty gruesome, but you know, it looked great. Like,
yeah, for the time period, I'd give it. I think this is a timeless classic, and personally, I give it 5 stars. What do you think?
I give it 4.5.
4.5. Why do you say 4.5?
Well, it's a wonderful movie. I'm just saying, like, based off of
based off your history of horror films, it's almost a perfect film.
Yeah, it's almost perfect.
I'm just
like
saying,
there's nothing wrong with it. Like that's just how I feel about it.
Oh, I see. It's not the perfect tale. You saying?
Well, no, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just.
It's just your rating. All right. But that's a pretty high rating.
Yeah.
It's not an average at a 3 or nothing. So there you go. You have it at an average between the two of us at 4.75 stars. I recommend that you go ahead and do your research on Stephen King. And if you are a fan of Stephen King, this is a must watch. For real.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. I highly recommend it.
All right. So there you have it. Storyteller Tidbits, Silver Bullet. So there's family entertainment for you. And goodbye for now. And we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Peace out.